Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Brawn Body Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be joined by Todd. Brendan is a very impressive individual, and I'm excited to welcome him to the show today. He has a bachelor's degree in exercise science, and he's a NASM certified personal trainer, and he specializes in powerlifting. He's competed in multiple events. His best total came from December of last year, 2020, with a grand total of 1,769.2 pounds. I don't know if I could lift that much in 2 or 3 sets, let alone one rep, one exercise, bench squat, deadlift. So he's very impressive. He's got an awesome record going so far, and he's definitely going to some amazing heights. You can find him at Tank Strength on Instagram if you want to keep up with him. Again, he's doing some awesome stuff, so highly recommend you check his page out. So with that, Brendan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dan. How are you doing?
Not bad. How about yourself, man?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. So when we talk about powerlifting, obviously this is something that is not for the faint of heart because, you're literally wearing down your body with heavy lifting. There's a lot of time that goes into just getting the proper form and technique and mobility to do these things. So what has really kind of been your driver for getting into powerlifting and moving you forward?
Actually, I probably first started, I guess in bodybuilding, power building, really, because I just like being big and I wanted to get as strong as I could possibly. Then my friend from Rutgers, he joined the powerlifting team there. And I was still in high school. He just joined, just got into university, and he's like, "Oh, this is awesome. The team's great. You should come check it out." By this time, though, I was still a freshman. No, I was a sophomore. Sorry.
Gotcha. So you started
yeah.
pretty young. You were kind of in the gym, that, grassroots mentality, so to speak, of, getting a hang of the barbell. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, this is cool, and I need to go this way.
Yeah. I think it really just started from trying to get as big and strong as I possibly can. That's just what I like. And that's kind of still inspires me today, is just seeing how strong I can take it, how much I can go.
Right. So it's all about how much you push yourself. There's no, external factor. It's all intrinsic motivation. And I know that's something that a lot of people tend to struggle with, especially with fitness, because it is a world of delayed gratification. You're not going to walk in and start doing bench and in 2 weeks be benching 500
No.
pounds. It takes a lot of effort day in and day out. So is there anything that you use to kind of keep yourself moving forward or fueling that progress?
Oh, yeah. I think, like you said, there's no, you're not hitting your grand goals in a couple of weeks, but you're hitting small PRs here, small PRs there. And you're like, oh shit, this is still working. That, and then I've also had a couple of injuries. I've had it's called osteochondritis dissecans. It's the bone behind your cartilage dies, and then your cartilage will rip up in the joint. So I've had one surgery and a procedure on my elbow, and then I've had 3 surgeries on my knee. And just after overcoming that and being told that I want to be able to do anything elite, not be an elite athlete, not that powerlifting is the most athletic sport, but it does put a ton of pressure on your joints. Just being able to push myself, and I feel great now. And it's nice to just keep going, just seeing what I can do even after all these injuries.
Right, because those are all setbacks. And as a result, I'm sure your progress has not been linear. It's not a marathon of ups in your journey in powerlifting. It's, one day you hit a PR, the next day you're out for 4 to 6 weeks recovering from a
2 to 3 years with my knee.
2 to 3.
It was,
wow.
At first it was just okay, I can't lift heavy anymore because it hurts too much, because it was my left knee. So I would get up to 495. This was in high school still. For a set of 5, and then it was anything more than that, it was killing my knee. And I just decided, maybe I'll try bodybuilding out. I went real light, did more reps. That was okay. I did a couple shows there. And then I was like, I need to get this knee fixed. And there was one doctor's appointment after another. Nobody knew what was going on because they didn't want to take an MRI. And then, so it was about 2 years until I got the surgery, and then it was like another 6 months. I got the final surgery. I got two before that, and that was just, they were like fail. So then I went to a specialized doctor up in New York, and and then I had my last surgery. 6 months later, I was able to start lifting again. Sorry, I had like 135 pounds, so not much.
Yeah, that's like a peanut compared to what you're at now. I
Yeah.
mean, you probably even warm up with like 2 or 3 times that amount, I'm sure. Um, and that's something too that I've seen a common trend of lately in the podcast is we have a lot of guests on, and a lot of people are held back by their injuries. And what really seems to make or break, the good from the elite is the ability to bounce back from those injuries and recover and be resilient. And I think in general, this speaks a lot more than just the physicality and the physical nature of powerlifting and what you've been doing, but the mental nature and the aspects of character. I'm sure the lessons you've learned thus far on your journey have kind of carried over into other aspects of your life as well.
Yeah, I mean, once I realized, I have the ability to do like anything physically. Like now, I have that. Before I was in like a not a cast, but like a brace. I wasn't able to run. Going downstairs kind of hurt. Same thing with my elbow. I was able to pick heavy things up. Once I had that ability to be like, oh, I can do whatever I want now. My body can adapt. I can get stronger. I can get better. Then everything else seems very little to that. So it's just like, okay, I've had a rough day. Well, at least I can go and lift some weights. At least I can, continue to get better.
Right. Always finding the diamonds in the rough, so to speak. Not every day is going to be perfect or go as planned, but you can always find a bright side to look at, or a brighter way to
Yeah.
look at things. So good stuff. So with that, for those listening, are there any key takeaways you want people to kind of pull from your own story, your own journey, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's just figuring out a way. I think one of the big things was I was like in high school, and I had a couple doctors just telling me, "Hey, listen, like we're gonna have to change. You're gonna have to change what your priority is. You're not gonna be able to really, I guess, lift weights. Do something physical." Even my own parents, they were encouraging, but they were also just like, "Oh, look, this is your new reality now. You just kind of have to live, with this." And the whole time I was just thinking, I was like, "Screw you guys." I just had that gut instinct, that gut feeling that that I was going to be something. I'm not there yet, but I'm gonna be something. I'm gonna do the things that I love to do, and continue to get stronger. I'm going to get better and get healthy. And those are for the big injuries and stuff. And you have to go out. The biggest thing is you have to go to the best person you can go to. I was at a local doctor. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about, and that's why I had 3 surgeries that didn't go as well. And then after that, I went to the best doctor out of the hospital, special surgery. His name's Dr. Riley Williams. He specializes in my condition. I went there, and it was night and day. The first doctor, I was in a cast for about 3 months after the surgery. I wasn't able to walk with a bent leg. I had to walk with a straight leg. This next doctor, I was walking fine in a week. So you just got to go to the best person. And then your small injuries, your little, your shoulder starts bothering, your hip starts bothering. I've had a couple of those, as everyone has. I think the biggest thing is do what you can with the shoulder or the hip or the knee that doesn't hurt. I injured my shoulder. I did a lot of internal, external rotation. I did a lot of lateral raises, anything that didn't bother. I couldn't shoulder press, but I could do that for a bunch just to warm up. And then you can apply that to any joint, any injuries. Do what you can to the best of your possibility until it gets better.
Right. I really like that. Don't mess around. Go right to the best person for things because you're only wasting your own
And money.
time trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and money. And the other thing you touched on there too is, don't be afraid to put the time and effort in to do something if you know
Yeah.
it's what you want to do. If you want to get strong, then you're going to not only have to put the time and effort into lifting big, but like you said, put the TLC work in to keep yourself healthy and make sure you can withstand those
Yeah.
higher loads. Um, So that's awesome stuff. Awesome takeaways. Thank you so much for coming on today. And for those listening, Brendan will be back on our Wednesday episode to touch on powerlifting in detail. So if you're someone who wants to get stronger, you might not get as strong as him. I don't think I'll personally ever be that strong myself. But if you want to start working towards those goals, there's going to be all kinds of awesome information in there to get you started. And again, you can find him on Instagram at Tank Strength if you want more on Brendan. So Brendan,
Thank you
thank you
very
again.
much.